possible. It's possible. Hello, welcome to my end of year TBR. Okay, these are all of the books that I would like to read before the end of the year 2024. I can't believe it's over. All right, so I'm going to take you basically on a tour of my TBR shelf. So basically the way my books are organized right now is that all the books I have not read live on this shelf. And some of them are a little bit scattered around the rest of my room, but that's okay. And then the second thing we will do after I finish showing you my TBR is I put a couple books aside that I don't already own that are like wintry, cozy, Christmassy. So I also want to read those books, but in December. So I'll show you guys my physical TBR, and then I will show you guys the other books that I want to read by the end of the year. So we'll start with the Love Light Farm series by B.K. Borison. Basically, this is the first book. Love Light Farms is about a girl who owns a Christmas tree farm, and she enters this like social media contest where she says like, I own this Christmas tree farm with my boo and we run it together. It's very romantic. Pick us, we win. Except that there is no boo. So now she is to enlist her best friend to pretend to be her boo with her so that she can win this competition. And the rest of these books, I learned later on, are essentially interconnected standalones. So like, I don't think you have to read the previous one to read the next one. However, it does sequentially take place directly after the previous one. So you might want to read them in order. Anyways, that's Love Light Farms, In the Weeds, Mixed Signals, and Business Casual. The next series that I have, I only have 3 series left, is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. I don't know what this book is about. I just bought it because it was pretty. Book 2 is Things We Never Got Over, and then Things We Hide from the Light. I think that's not the order. Now I'm confused. I think the order is the blue one. Things We Never Got Over, Things We Left Behind, and then Things We Hide from the Light. I just know by the colors. I've never read a synopsis. I just know that these are popular and they were pretty and I got them. So hopefully they're good because I'll be very sad if they're not. And lastly, for the first time in my adult life, I'm reading the Harry Potter series. I never read them. I read half of the Sorcerer's Stone as a child and was like, what is this? And threw out the entire series. So a friend of mine gave this to me for my birthday this year, and I've been making my way slowly through. Right now, I am like less than halfway through the Goblet of Fire, but then I have left the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So hopefully we will be done with this series by the end of the year, which is exciting because I feel like this is a very like Christmassy vibe, Christmassy wintry vibe. So I'm excited that it's gonna like feel cozy, you know? I don't know what that was. I was excited. Okay, then I have the rest of my book box subscription books, special editions that I want to finish reading and not accumulate them, you know, because I get more every month. It's really bad. I need to like cancel some of these because this is where all my coins are going. The first one is called Air by Sabaa Tahir. Isn't this book the most flippin' beautiful thing you've ever seen? I will say it does kind of look like the one we got from the month before, but they're both beautiful, so I'm not going to complain. I don't know what this book is about at all because, again, I got in a book subscription box. It just came. I had no choice in whether I got it, but I'm hoping it's good. I just got the Kindle edition on Libby, so I'm going to start, like, reading it on the go because I just, like, don't like to take such beautiful books out my house because the world is a scary place. I'm almost done with my dramatics, I promise. Then I have Until We Shatter by Kate Dillon. This was this month's book, so I'm really excited. Sorcery and Small Magics. I don't remember what this is about, but I did read the synopsis and it didn't sound like something that I would be super interested in, but we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. I think it's about someone who like summons butterflies with magic or something like that. Then we have The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. I don't know what any of these books are about, by the way. They're all book subscription boxes. They come randomly. The Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright. Very flippin' gorgeous. I just can't even. And then The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle, which I actually started, got like pretty far into, to be honest, and then just kind of put it down. So we'll see if I get back into it. It wasn't like that bad. Basically the daggers are like, there's two like secret societies, the daggers and the cloaks, and they both use shade magic, but they use it differently. So the shade magic, if you wear it, it kind of like makes you like disappear and like be invisible or whatever. So the cloaks use the shade magic to I think be thieves, and then the daggers use the shade magic by ingesting it, and then it makes them these like vicious and they're assassins. So this girl is a cloak, I think, and the dude is a dagger, and they're like obviously like against each other, and it's enemies to lovers. And I usually love enemies to lovers, so I'm hoping that when I pick this up again, whenever that is, I will enjoy it. Okay, next we have another book subscription box stack. My book of the month, Stack of Shame. That's not that shameful anymore because it's kind of small. These are just the ones that I got in like the last 2 months. So the Book of Witching by CJ Cook, which I did read the description for because I chose this book, but I just don't remember. Sorry, y'all. You're not really getting like descriptions here. This one I remember. This is called Dinner for Vampires, Life on a Cult TV Show by Bethany Jo Lenz. So if you've ever watched One Tree Hill, she talks about how she was on a TV show while also being involved in a cult. And this is a real life story about her. So I'm really excited to hear because I was definitely a One Tree Hill girly. And then the last book of the month book, you see, it's not that much of a shameful stack after all. Hera by Jennifer Saint. I don't know what this is about, but all of her books are essentially feminist retellings of certain Greek mythology events. So this one surrounds Hera, who is the wife and also I think sister of Zeus. And I love how she does like, essentially they're like these very famous stories that are like traditionally told by the perspective of like the male like hero in, or like god in that story, and she tells the same story but she tells it from the woman's perspective and plays up like and really like shows us what their role what really was in like those events. I thought it was really cool. I've like loved the other Jennifer Saint, like 2 other Jennifer Saint books that I've read. Ariadne is one of my favorite books of all time. So I just feel that I'm gonna love this one. And I also did start this one. I guess I took my bookmark out. That's concerning. Oh, never mind. It's right here. I read the prologue. So I'm excited. And I'm now noticing that I'm kind of in the middle of a lot of these books. And the last 4 books that don't really fall into a category. They're just books that I somehow acquired. The first one is Bloodguard by Ceci Robson. Again, another book that I don't know. The back says, enter the arena, seize 2 weapons, now try to survive. So that's giving Hunger Games vibes, I feel. You know, let's hope so. Yeah, I just pre-ordered this a long time ago. I don't remember doing it, and it arrived. So now we're gonna read it. That's the tea. Then I have this book, Roundabout by Fang Nguyen. I picked this book up a while ago because I heard a little rumor about this book and I had a cool video idea to read the book. So that's what I'll do soon. Another book that I'm in the middle of right now, Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales. These are every single like fairy tale combined into one book by the Brothers Grimm. So this includes like more than 200 stories. It has like Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, Cinderella, Hansel and Gretel, Rapunzel, all the goodies that Disney, you know, appropriated for themselves, and hopefully the originals will be interesting. I have read a couple of stories, but none of them are like the big ones, you know, just what's his name? Tom Thumb is the only one so far that I've recognized. But I heard that these are like pretty dark, like the original ones. I last year, I think, or earlier this year, read the original Little Mermaid, which is by Christian Hans Andersen, so it wouldn't be in here, and that was bananas. So I'm expecting these to be bonkers too. I'm really excited. It's just that I haven't started it because like this book is so intimidating, but one day soon. And lastly, another book that I have no idea about, but it's pretty popular, The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Some people on the interwebs were saying that you should read this book if you were a fan of ACOTAR. I was a fan of ACOTAR, so we'll see. I don't think it has anything like similar to do with it at all, but it is a fantasy novel, the Crowns of Nyaxia series or something like that. I found this in a little free library that I donate a lot to in my neighborhood, and I was like, ooh, I've heard a lot about this book. Let's see if it's good. Also, never read what it was about, but that's okay. Are y'all noticing a trend here? It's kind of a problem. Yikes. I just counted it, and that was 24 books. So, maybe this TBR is a little unrealistic. But I've been killing the reading game, so we'll see what happens, okay? I have faith in myself, the utmost faith. And you should too. Okay, these books are more like winter book recommendations. I've never read them, but they feel like they would be cozy to read in this season, and I don't anticipate reading all of them, but definitely a few during the winter, and maybe you'll find some new recs in here too. So the first one is His and Hers by Alex Feeney. I've read a couple of books by her before, I think like 2 of them, and I really enjoyed them, so I hope that I will like this one too. I've heard this one is really good, and it's also like pretty popular if I'm not mistaken. Basically a reporter is like kind of reluctant to investigate this murder that happens in her town, and then essentially like the detective who is like investigating it, he kind of suspects the reporter, but then all of a sudden events change and he finds himself being a like prime suspect in this investigation, in his own like case. So dun dun dun, very spooky. The next one is, I don't really like have like a full synopsis of it. It's called Curse of the Wolf King. This is part of a series called Entangled with Fae, so I'm assuming that there's going to be some kind of like fae, like magical, like aspect of all of these books, and they all retell a different like classic story. This one is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Then we have a book that I've been saying I'm going to read every winter for many, many winters, and this is going to be the one. It's called Green Glass House by Kate Milford. Essentially, this green glass house is like I don't want to say hotel, like a place where like these thieves can like come stay the night or something. Now the word is just not coming to me. Anyways, all these nefarious characters gather here, and then I think there's like a murder mystery. I could completely be making up this synopsis, but this book just gives like the snowy vibes, even just like the cover. And it's a middle grade, so it's probably going to be very like cutesy, like fluffy, maybe funny. I don't know, I'm hoping so, and I'm really excited. Then we have Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardost. This is in the sci-fi and fantasy section. So again, I think it's a fantasy retelling. This one is specifically around Snow White. So we're just going on vibes, to be honest. I don't know anything. This book, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, is one I fully just wanted to read based on the cover. It's just so flipping beautiful, and I don't know why, but like since last year I've been loving like the Grinch vibes, and this gives like Who's from Whoville, and the description literally says, every Kringle in Crinkleton celebrated Christmas a lot, but Coal Black on Whistler Lane unfortunately did not. So in this one, basically Cole lives in this like quaint little town. His neighbor, Aunt Cindy, has her niece move in to take care of her. The niece's name is like Story. Oh, Story. That did not click in my head. Anyway, so Story's here to take care of Aunt Cindy. She enters the town crinkle competition. I have no idea what that is. And she's determined to win. And Cole's like, the heck you will. And then it ensues competition. This is a contemporary romance book. So obviously it's giving the enemies to lovers vibes. And that's the vibe that I'm about. So I feel that it's gonna be a good time, and I already have this downloaded on my Kindle, so we're going for it. So in Spinning Silver, this girl named Miriam has a dad who apparently a lot of people owe debt to, but he is just like unable or unwilling, I'm not sure, to collect those debts. And so she takes it upon herself to just boss up and go collect these debts. And she soon gets this reputation for being being able to turn silver into gold, ? I think that's what it is. Anyway, so because of this reputation that she gains, she gets the attention of the king of Starik, ? This is going to be one of those fantasy books that I can't pronounce anything in. But the Starik are like these fae-like creatures, and I don't think they're supposed to be very good. And yeah, chaos just happens and ensues, and I'm assuming it's like a magical journey. I realize I didn't tell you the name of the book, but the pictures here, so you're gonna see that it's Spinning Silver by Naomi Novikov. Naomi Novik. Anyways, I actually just met her at Comic-Con this year, which I attended and was really fun. And I have had this book on my TBR for a really long time, so I thought when I saw her, this is a sign to bump it up the list, and that's what we're gonna do. So I'm really excited. And with that, those are all of the books on my end of year TBR. I hope y'all enjoyed, even though I didn't know what half of them were about, but if you're like me and you buy books based on how pretty they are, then you probably enjoyed yourself. If you made it this far with the winter vibes, leave me a snowflake emoji down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to join the family, hit that subscribe button. I will see you all when I see you. Ooh, does it look like I have like a little dimple? Easily distracted. I will see you all when I see you next. Bye.